for some people, listening is this kind of moment where you're taking in and you're kind of evaluating what someone's saying, but it actually can be a part of your meditation practice where you actually go in with the intention of just being still and taking in information without having to set too many goals or strategies around that information. Now, it depends on what you're listening to and why, but the idea of presence. The second thing is to really begin to understand your own listening habits. So many of us have these habits that prevent us from being connected. For example, becomes a part of our personality. Have you ever known those people that are they're helpers? Every time you start talking, they'll interrupt you and tell you, "Well, let me tell you, I know a guy that can fix your computer, but I'm telling a story about my son or about something completely disconnected." Or there are people that are pluggers. They're always trying to plug in their own ideas and their own stories while you're talking. So if we can just be a little bit aware of how our habits and our behaviors are monitoring our listening, if we can be completely present, clean the slate, and be open to taking in the portal to wisdom. In the book, I talk a lot about this path to mental health and to genius. To mental health, that is, the more that you're kind of thinking about what you're saying, once again, the less healthy you are. But in order to be a genius, here's the deal. So many people are such awful listeners that you will instantly be the most powerful person in the room by simply just really listening to what people are saying. And you're listening to like words they're saying, you're listening to values, you're listening to this idea so you can begin to make connections to what really matters to people, what really matters to the situation that you're in. So it's not just kind of listening, it's like you're listening for information that gives you more wisdom about how things work and how the world works.
Two questions, two follow-ups on that. Number one, do you see that people are way too distracted in order to do what you're describing? Because what you're describing is fantastic, right? We're going to be more effective at work. We're going to be, better in our personal relationships, but how do we minimize these distractions in our lives, whether it's a notification on our phone or some other distraction?
So for me, there are two reasons that I started to master listening. One, it makes you powerful, and I like being powerful. I like feeling powerful. And two, I really did have the desire not only to be more connected. I think there's something in me that's natural around that, but I did have the desire to be very competent and to do a good job. So for me, I think instead of trying to put the phone down, figure out how to avoid the distractions, really have a moment where you're saying, this is so important to me because it is a function of my integrity, right? When I even show up to work and to events, I'm not distracted. I put kind of a framing on there that motivates me to put the phone down. If I'm picking up my phone, I'm out of integrity. I'm not fully present. I'm not really even living my life. And I refuse to let this phone rob me of my joy and rob me of a connection that I'm going to have with another human being. And so I think for us, sometimes the why behind it is a better motivator than just kind of trying to do all these hacks to ward out the distractions. Because, at this point, the benefits have been so big, I never really have to think about putting my phone away. I never have to think about all these tricks because I just see how beautiful life can be by this act of listening and connecting in more strategic ways. Which, by the way, one of the things that I do for a lot of my clients, if they want to get a promotion, if they want to fast track to any level, I will literally give them a 90-day listening diet where they will focus. I have very specific things for them to listen to. And I myself, even though I've tested this myself and tested with others, I'm continuously amazed at the results, at what people discover about themselves, about others. And, I would say like 90% of these people actually get everything that they want just by investing time in mastering this skill.